Anthony on Air podcast. Thank you for joining us wherever you are watching from or listening from. Appreciate it so much. If you missed the Blue Angels today, we have our own Blue Angel right here. That's Frankie C. How you doing, my man?
Just call me a Blue Angel.
Well, I wasn't going to call you a Thunderbird. That's a little too inappropriate.
You didn't have to call me either. I have nothing to do with either of them, but thank you.
Today,
I guess it's the blue wall behind me.
That's definitely what it is. Today is National Superhero Day. And aside from obviously thanking our wonderful frontline workers that are out doing the essential work and doing a lovely job, this way Twitter doesn't yell at us.
Right.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of superheroes?
My Mount Rushmore of superheroes. I love Batman, but with recent movies, it's been not so good in the Batman realm. I have to go. Iron Man is up there. You gotta throw Superman up there because.
So wait, let me get this
Superman.
straight. Let me get this straight. You're basing superhero
No,
rankings
I'm
off of
including.
box office.
No. I mean, the movie was crappy. I don't care about the box office. The movie itself was crappy. The last few Batman movies were crap with Ben Affleck.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Like
Overall superheroes.
we're talking about superheroes here. We're not worried about box office numbers.
No, not that. I'm not saying box office numbers. I'm saying they were crappy movies. Okay, so my four: Batman, Superman, Iron Man, Spider-Man.
Batman,
Those are mine.
Superman, Iron Man, and Spider-Man?
Yes,
Sexist.
those are my
I'm
top.
just going to say you are a raging sexist. Because mine are Wonder Woman, Black Widow, and the other two female superheroes that I like so much. So
You're sexist too. You have something against men? What's the problem?
yeah, I live in a world where women rule, my man. So
That's cool. Nothing wrong with that. I like spiders and bats and iron people.
Iron Man, here's what's interesting about Iron Man though. Nobody gave a rat's patoot about Iron Man until the movies came out. The movies really raised.
Because nobody knew anything about him. It's a great story from. If you watch the first one, nobody knew his story, and then they the way they did it, it makes you like he's an ordinary guy. He doesn't have superpowers. He's just a genius with a crap ton of money, and he kicks ass, just like Batman.
Yeah.
Genius with a crap ton of money.
Okay, now you bring up a good point here because both Iron Man and Batman have zero supernatural powers whatsoever, right? They're not, like Superman or Spider-Man.
Right.
They're billionaire people who have invented technologies to become a superhero. Who's better out of those two, Iron Man or Batman? Because I feel like before you answer, we've known about Batman for longer, right? We know
Right.
we're much more familiar with Bruce Wayne than we are Tony Stark.
True. I love Batman. He's great. The villains are great. In terms of better, as in who would win in a fight? What do you mean better?
I mean, just like who's better? Who's not? I guess the better person would win in a fight. I guess the better person would have, the better suit. The better person would have the better non-superhero personality. So who, overall nutshell, who is better?
Well, let's see. Iron Man is a little full of himself. Batman is very secretive, very dark. That's a toss-up, man. I mean, Iron Man is just more personable and likes to have fun. Batman is kind of his personality, the Bruce Wayne personality, is a little on the boring side. I mean, Bruce Wayne is cool and all, and he gets the girls, and he has the money and the mansion. But does he like to have fun like Iron Man does?
He's a little bit more serious. He's a little bit more like Bruce Wayne is a downer. Let's be honest. If you're gonna go out and party,
He is a downer.
somebody, you're gonna go party with Tony Stark, right?
Tony Stark's a party animal,
Yeah.
and he'll hook you up with some of his gear. Batman's not going to do that.
That's true. If you look at the trajectory of the two, and it's National Superhero Day, so that's why we're building a Mount Rushmore of superheroes. Tony Stark shares a lot of his toys with all of his friends, a hell of a lot more than Bruce Wayne does. Bruce Wayne reluctantly put Dick Grayson into the mix, right? Whereas Iron Man has a whole fleet of pals that are superheroed up.
Well, Batman has a fleet of pals too, but I mean,
Who?
he did share one piece of equipment. What do you mean?
Batman. Who's on Batman's side? Who's pals with Batman?
Oh, he's the whole. What are they called? This. What was this? The last movie with you got Aquaman,
Justice
and Superman,
League,
and Justice League. He's part of the Justice League.
Yeah, but he never really I mean, Iron Man outfits War Machine, gets a new suit for Spider-Man. Like, you know, his girlfriend's got an Iron Man suit. Like, he hooks everybody up. Like, he built the Hulk Buster.
Batman's got Robin, Batgirl.
Barely.
That's probably it.
And Robin was made to look like a real, you know, I mean, come on, Robin. Not the best. Like, he's made to look like the lackey. Like, he's a number two. Like, he brings him in and never makes him like better, you know.
I love how Batman is all dark and secretive, and then he goes, "You know what? I'm gonna dress you in red and yellow.
Yeah.
Just so you're just a walking target. I'll be over here sneaking in the shadows. We're gonna put red and yellow on you."
Doesn't make any sense. I feel like this is a walk-off home run for Tony Stark. Like, he's way better out of the billionaire superhero types.
He is. But Batman, I mean, he's legendary, but I don't know. I mean, I guess just because he has the fame since the 30s or 40s. But Iron Man, he came through at the finish, man. He started a few years ago. He became popular, but he's been around forever.
Yeah.
What are yours? You're sticking with the ladies of the.
No, I'm gonna go with
Superworld.
No, and you know what's funny about that? Like, I feel like men can't identify with, you know, like, I don't know any man that would put females on his list. Same, like, I don't know why any female would really like put like a male. Like, I feel like you gotta like closely identify with the hero. Like, that's part of it, you know.
Right, that's true.
Like, you have to like not see yourself in the hero, but you have to like, you know, imagine yourself to be the hero.
You want their skills and you want their abilities.
Yeah.
And a lot of the female heroes came out after the male heroes, unfortunately. But you know, you got Wonder Woman is great, but we already had Superman before that, so everybody was like Superman.
Right. That's the thing. And it's, you know, it's interesting. Like, I look at that stuff with my kids now, and you know, my daughter will flock to the female hero and my son will flock to whoever the male hero is. And I feel like
it's great.
Yeah. And like, there's nothing wrong with them not doing that, you know, but that's just.
No, it's just instinct, I guess.
It's instinctually right where they go, you know? So I'm going to
I gotta say, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have a standby or a fill-in if you know, a fifth place, a runner-up.
That's not how
is Captain America.
That's not how this all works.
He's standing by in case, you know, one of the other guys can't fulfill their duties. Like Iron Man, he's dead now. So.
Oh, see, there's no call for that. There's no reason. There's no reason to do that. Throw spoilers around.
Spoiler?
That was a spoiler.
What spoiler? Did you not know that?
I knew it, but I'm saying, you know, people are watching and listening, right? I mean,
I guarantee this movie's been out for 2 years now.
Dude, I just watched it like a month ago. I legit just watched it a month ago. Yeah, it's live.
We'll edit out the version where people will watch it again.
All right.
I'm telling you, everybody knows that.
Janine, our other guest co-host, is in the chat, which makes me happy. She wants to know, first of all, how high are your pants today, Frank? So that's a good inside joke.
They're just below where you can see. They're like right here, right below the nipple line,
Right under the nipple.
right under the nips.
Then she wrote Tony Stark fucks, so that's good.
What?
Janine, what's your? I want to know what Janine's Mount Rushmore of superheroes is. All right, here's mine. Superman, obviously.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Iron Man in there because he's pretty much baller, like Iron Man in a major way. I'm gonna put this is gonna be shocking. I feel this is controversial. I'm gonna put Black Panther in at number 3. Like,
okay,
super underrated. Again, can put him in the same kind of category of Batman and Iron Man, where he doesn't naturally have superpowers, but he's like invented a whole bunch of stuff. But like his is kind of better because of like the material, whatever that is. I don't forget what they call it.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's
some metal or something that they
weird metal.
Yeah. Like, that's baller. Like, to me, that's like, I don't know. I like his whole vibe.
That metal is shared around though. Like Iron Man has some of that, I think, and Captain America's shield is made from that vibranium.
Vibranium, yeah. I just like the whole thing. He's got the cars. He dresses really well. He's running a country, which Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne are not doing. They're just running their greedy corporations. Right? I just feel like Black Panther is so like it's like a great, the nails is like that's a little weak. The nailing like I'm gonna scratch you is a little weak. It's a little on the weak side.
One of the coolest shots is from Infinity War. If you watch closely, when the good guys are rushing toward the barrier and they're gonna fight all of Thanos' goons. The two people that are running the fastest and they're like 100 feet ahead of everyone else are Captain America and Black Panther.
Yeah,
like it's an overhead crane shot of all the good guys running towards the barrier, and you see Captain America and Black Panther running really, really fast, and they get there like a minute before everybody else gets there.
That's awesome. There's a couple of like iconic shots. Like there's that one shot. I don't know if it's Age of Ultron, but where they're they're fighting in like the mountains. It's a little snowy, I think, and they're going to like grab some weapon from somebody, and so they're all running through. And then like everything is moving super fast, and there's that one frame where the camera's moving slowly, and they all kind of enter the frame. Like that is
movie hero poster shot.
Yeah, that's a badass shot right there.
I think that's the beginning of Age of Ultron, the very beginning scene.
Yeah, is that it? That shot is amazing.
That is cool. They know how to frame a shot, those Marvel people.
Yeah, and there's always it's always a different director. Like there's like every one of them has been a different director, and they all like have that same amazing look to them.
You gotta have those shots. I mean, I guess there was one in Avengers, the original Avengers, where they're in New York and the camera just spins around them, and they're all kind of posing.
Yes, when they like first get together. That one is killer.
Good, man.
Still, my favorite is Civil War. That's like my favorite. Like when they're
all
when they're at the airport and they're fighting each other.
That's true. That was kind of cool.
I don't know. That's just kind of cool.
I don't know. Infinity War and Endgame are still pretty cool. I like, and another underrated superhero, I think, was Doctor Strange.
You know what? We haven't watched that movie yet.
He is cool, and you see him in Infinity War and Endgame. But,
yeah.
But his whole thing with the Time Stone and everything, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't really care for that.
Okay.
He's too strange.
That is kind of cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could control time, I mean, you win every fight, I feel.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go Superman. I'm gonna go Iron Man. I'm gonna go Black Panther. So tired of Batman and all his baggage.
I mean, how many times can I see his parents get killed?
I mean, seriously, you know,
Kind of sick of it.
and I honestly was really into the idea of Ben Affleck playing the older, depressed, I'm gonna snap soon Batman. Like I was looking forward to that movie being made, and they shelved that thing for Robert Pattinson. And I don't know what Robert Pattinson's one is gonna be. I think
It's gonna be this, I hope it's not the same old bullcrap.
I
They're
think
just
it's
making these things too close to each other.
yeah. It's just not that great. I tell you, I was watching who's the guy who did Joker?
Joaquin Phoenix?
No, yeah, but the director he was doing all the funny movies. And
Oh, I can't.
I forget his name,
I
but
can't remember his name.
he was doing all the funny. He was doing like all the comedy movies, and then he was basically like the world got kind of too PC, so he was like, I'm gonna go and he's like, I don't want to make a comedy right now because everybody's getting offended over every little fart and thing. So
That's true.
he went off to make Joker, and the interesting thing he said in this interview that I was watching with him, though, he's like nobody's ever really explored, like we all see these characters and they all just like follow this mold. He's like, but nobody's ever really like explored the darker psychiatric side of some of these characters. Like there are these like little tiny elements in this formula, but if you toss the formula out and just focus on like the person,
Yeah, like they did with Joker.
Like they did with Joker. And what's interesting about that too is like he wanted to kind of make that movie. It was Joker that kind of came second. Like he wanted to make a movie where he wanted to see like almost like Scorsese in the 70s, like Mean Streets and these gritty New York movies. But you can't make that movie today and have it be successful. The only way you can do it is if you have this built-in audience.
That's true. All right. Greatest villains. Mount Rushmore of villains.
Oh, Mount Rushmore of villains.
What do you got?
You got to have the Joker on there because he's great.
Classic.
I mean, he's just classic. It's funny because I tend to, you put the Joker up there faster than you put Batman on the Mount Rushmore of heroes.
I mean, Joker's just a psychotic nut job. He's iconic. He's the comic relief, and he's also the villain in the nut job. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. You're either going to get a nut job who's going to kill someone, or he's going to do something funny. You don't know.
All right, so I like Joker. Todd Phillips, by the way, is the director who did that. I like Joker. Lex Luthor, when done right,
classic.
is a good villain, mastermind.
Not the Jesse Eisenberg one.
Nah, no. I mean, even though I did
terrible.
I did appreciate it. It wasn't the greatest, but I did appreciate it. I didn't mind it. It wasn't like Hackman was the best. I feel like, even though that was,
of course, he was just a sniveling little weenie in that movie.
Yeah, even though it was a little hackish, and let's be honest too. Pryor, like one of the best computer hackers before computer hacking was a thing.
He made it cool,
but I can't put him on this list. That's not right.
He wasn't really a villain.
No, I guess you got to kind of put Thanos on the list somewhere. No.
Yeah, I mean, the guy took on everyone, literally.
And I mean, I love more than anything too when it comes to Thanos, like this idea of let's rip it all down and build it all over again. Like I love the philosophical thought behind Thanos of like, we've screwed this up. Let's take everybody down by half and, build it back up again. And this idea of like where he says in one of the movies, like, I'm inevitable.
Right.
like you guys are fighting so hard to but I'm inevitable. Like I'm going to happen anyway. I kind of love that in a villain.
Yeah, that's true. He was just all in too. He didn't have any doubt. He was just, I'm doing this. Screw you. I don't care. He sacrifices a lot to do it.
Yeah.
and he's just nonstop. You can't. He's just an unstoppable guy that just you break your. You got to go through hell to get to defeat him. So he's a good one, definitely.
All right, so far I got. I don't know if you agree with this though. It's Joker. It's Lex Luthor and Thanos.
They're good. Those are the big ones.
I'm trying to think who's another like big villain. Who is the X-Men's villain? Magneto? I don't really care for
Magneto.
that. Cares about
He's
that.
Pretty good. He controls metal. Come on.
Yeah, big deal. Like, I don't really care. Like Loki kind of fizzles out too. He's not that big of a deal.
He's kind of a in-between guy because he's good, he's bad, he's good, he's bad.
Yeah. God, do we have another villain?
I mean, there are plenty of other like side villains, but if you're talking about like a lead villain, I mean, let's see, you got Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, Dr. Octopus sucks. Jack writing in, I was a superhero for many years, but once they did away with phone booths, my career was over. That's true. We don't talk about that. We lose a lot of jobs.
Now you gotta have like, what are those booths now? Those like quiet booths that you go in for like a minute of just, what are they, like sensory deprivation booths or something?
Yeah, there you go.
Gotta put those out there. Or those public urinals that are in London. See Superman changing in one of those.
That'd be nice. I'm going.
Yeah, no more phone booths.
No more phone booths. I mean, look, worlds are changing. Industries are changing. You got to figure out a way.
You got to rewrite some comic books, bro. You got to update them.
Yeah. What about Bane? Bane is kind of in that same like Thanos like kind of vein. The Bane vein.
Bane is all right. I mean, I feel like you just rocket launch him, he's dead.
True.
How many times you get, and that's what they did, I think. So.
That's true.
I mean, the same thing with Lex Luthor, though, I guess. But the thing with Bane was he wasn't supposed to be a very smart villain. He was just supposed to be muscle.
Right. He's just like, he doesn't really think it all out. It kind of just whatever's. It was smart to bring him on. Like they elevated his status in that movie.
They did. To make him the main guy was interesting because every time he was around, he was a sidekick.
Yeah. All right, Frank, reconnect for a second because I think you got a little crackle on your line there. Let's try and reconnect you. We'll get Frankie back on. We're talking about National Superhero Day, which it is today, and obviously with thanks to all the frontline workers that are doing their thing. But we're building up the Mount Rushmore of superheroes. Frankie C., what was yours again?
I have Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and Iron Man.
And mine was Superman, Iron Man, Black Panther. I didn't name a fourth, I don't think.
Thought you did.
No, I don't think I did. I'd probably put Captain America in there.
He is awesome.
That's a good character. And I like and by the way, like I love the way in the Marvel series they worked. Because here's what they were never able to do with Superman, right? Superman was kind of like a 1940s character, right? 1940s, 1950s. That's kind of where he lived. And they figured out a way, and Captain America was the same exact thing. And they figured out a way to make that work and to build him into the modern movies,
With Captain America, yeah.
Yeah, like it worked better in Captain America than it did in like the Brandon Routh Superman. They just never got that.
That was rough.
I loved it.
Nothing to do with anything.
I loved it at the time, though. At the time, I was like, "This is fantastic!" Like,
Why? It didn't make any sense.
It didn't make any sense, and I hated where they went with it with the Lois Lane thing and all that. But I remember going into the city to go see it in an IMAX theater, and being like finally, like I've sat through like 17 Batman films, and finally I'm getting a Superman film to watch on the big screen. I was pumped.
So you were just ready to accept anything because it was Superman.
Yeah, but basically that's the point. That's the point I'm making. Like it was just like Superman on a big screen. He's flying around. He's saving people. The orchestra's playing.
And he was
the
a good
theme.
Superman. He was a good The
Yeah,
actor was good, man. He was
yeah.
fine.
I like the new guy too, though. I wish they would get back to making more movies with him and them get over whatever fight they're having with each other. Whoever the new
Yeah,
guy
he was good.
is, he might be the best one ever. Obviously Christopher Reeve, but still, like the new guy was kind of like a little bit more buff.
Yeah, that's true. Back in the day, though, they there was a certain style of, I don't know. Every guy looked different for some reason than they do now. Like Buff was like, I don't know, like a 50-year-old dad looking guy.
Yeah,
Now today it's like a 25-year-old weightlifter.
yeah, yeah. Well, the world
Very
changes.
different looks.
We lost phone booths. Liz writing in Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Captain America. Henry
All
Cavill.
right, so
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. He's
He's
good.
good. He's good. Boy, they should give everybody their money back for that Justice League movie. That really pisses me off.
It was like just effects and nothing that made any kind of. Aquaman, I thought was halfway decent.
Yeah, I
See
hate
Aquaman?
Aquaman. No, I hate Aquaman.
I mean, what are you going to do with Aquaman? You're in the ocean.
That's the thing too.
Big
That's
deal.
what kind of sucks about Justice League. Like you look at his crew, it's nothing compared to the Avengers.
It's four morons and Superman. Just let Superman handle everything. He could do it.
No,
What,
Wonder
kryptonite
Woman's
and
all right.
bullshit? That there's like this much of it on Earth.
Wonder Woman's all right. Batman's okay. The Flash is a little on the weak side, and Aquaman is horrifically
The
weak.
Flash could run fast. He's not even like. That's it. He can't. He's not bulletproof. He's not anything proof. He just runs fast.
That's true. That's true. And one of the great scenes in movie history, I feel like, that I was on the floor rolling was the end of, I forget which one of the horrific movies it was, but when the Flash and Superman line up for a race.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that was
They've
hysterical.
done that a lot, though. They did that in the cartoons and everything.
Did
That's
they?
always been a comic book paradox, I guess.
Yeah.
Who can run the fastest?
I loved it though. I liked seeing that one. That put a smile on my face for sure. I
That
liked
is pretty
seeing that.
cool.
All right, so did we get a fourth villain before we wrap this up? Mount Rushmore of all right, Mount Rushmore of heroes. We have Mount Rushmore of villains. Thanos.
Oh,
What was it? Go ahead.
I think I lost you. Go
There
ahead.
you are. Yeah.
All right, so you threw in the three villains. I got to throw in Darth Vader.
That's not a superhero villain though.
He's a super villain. He has superpowers. He has the Force.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You
He's
Star
killing a
Wars.
lot of dudes, man. A lot of people.
You Star Wars people are ruining this country. I tell you
He
what.
wiped out some. He wiped out some hordes, planets.
Next
Blew 'em up.
thing, you Star Wars people are gonna want to have the right to vote and equal pay, and
Listen,
it's
one
all gonna
day-
get out of control.
It'll happen one day for us. We will unite.
I think that's true though. I think Star Wars fans make 70 cents on the dollar for everybody else who's a non-Star Wars fan.
That's cute.
Just like pay this nerd, it doesn't matter. He'll take it.
You're an ass. Don't get me started on Star Trek fans, though.
Oh, the worst. The worst.
Come on, break.
The Los Angeles Lakers qualified to receive a small business loan under the Paycheck Protection Program. They received $4.6 million. The Los Angeles Lakers got $4.6 million in the CARES
It's about
Act.
time somebody stood up for the big businesses in this country and said, "Hey, you've got all this money. Here's a little more."
I mean, it's so unbelievable. This has been a running thing. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, Shake Shack, and a few other companies have applied for these loans and have returned the money once being publicly shamed into doing so. The Lakers returned their funds, obviously. And when they asked the Lakers, why'd you guys even apply? Their answer was we had fewer than 500 employees, which is one of the guidelines. Like if you have more than 500 employees, you don't qualify for the small business loan. So they were like, "Oh, we have less than 500 employees. We can get this." But I must say, the evaluation of the Los Angeles Lakers right now sits at $4 billion. They're worth
Is that
$4 billion.
And I guarantee if they have 500 people working for them, there are a few, at least a dozen minimum wages in there.
It's all minimum wage people. It's all stadium people and that less than, no, they're less than 500.
500?
There's less than 500 people that work for the Lakers. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like the offices.
Yeah. I mean,
so it's also included in the. You're talking about, like, I didn't know the stadium people were considered Lakers employees. I thought it was like the stadium's employees or something.
Well, they might not be actually. They might work for the arena. They might not be Lakers employees.
Yeah, who knows?
But either way, I think you're still under 500 people, even with the arena staff in there.
What would have been cool is if the Lakers applied for it, got it, and then donated it to like fight coronavirus, or donated it to nurses or doctors or something.
What would have been cool is if they got it and then gave it to a small business who was really meant for it.
Nailed it.
I don't understand, but honestly, Frank, like the thought process of we should apply for this when you're a friggin' NBA franchise. Like, I could forgive Shake Shack. They panicked. They're a restaurant, right? The world was crazy 3-4 weeks ago. We're losing you there. The world was crazy like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and they're a restaurant. They're going to lose their shirt, So I kind of understand a Shake Shack being like, we need the help. Yes, they're a chain. Yes, they have like 100 locations, but they're not McDonald's where there's like thousands of locations. You know what I mean? Like, I could kind of almost understand. And their reasoning was, we knew we were going to take a hit. Nobody told us what the perimeters of this would be, what the parameters were going to be. So we just applied for it anyway. And then once it all came down, they were like, this isn't us. We'll get funding from somewhere else. And that's what they did. And they returned the money. So I kind of forgive them. There's no way on the planet that the friggin' Lakers can say like, oh, we might be able to when you're one of 30. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
When 500 people or less than that are the only employees of what was it, $4 billion?
$4 billion. Yeah, $4 billion. The Lakers alone.
So they're going to be fine. I mean, why this 4 million meant anything to them? You know what I mean? Like, why would they even? That's pennies. Why would they even go after that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And people are going to say like, oh, they're greedy or whatever. But I mean, all this money is supposed to go to the employees. Like, that's what all this money is supposed to go for. So I mean, it is greedy, but it's not like they're sticking it in their pocket. I'm sure some of these people are going to figure out a way to do that, though.
Yeah, hopefully they were going to give it to their employees, but they could just take, I don't know, $4 million out of their $4 billion and give it to their employees too. They could do, they'll be fine for a while. They're not going to starve.
But explain to me, Frank, the thought process, because this is what I can't understand. They're sitting there in a room, all this news comes out, and they go, we should apply for this. Like, is there not one person in the organization that goes, wait a second, we all rode here in Mercedes-Benz and Lexuses. We're worth $4 billion. Our ownership has enough to float this organization for 2 years with no money coming in. Like, maybe we shouldn't apply for the small business protection loan.
What I'm thinking is that this wasn't a discussion. This is what I'm hoping anyway. That it wasn't a discussion and it was some lower level person looking to bring in more revenue or more money or get something for the company, saw this and said, oh, we can apply for $4 million. I could bring $4 million in for the employees. Who wouldn't want to get that? So I don't think it was, I hope it wasn't one of the billionaire people saying, here's another $4. I hope it was like a lower level accountant or someone that said, you know what, I could bring in this $4 million and and we could distribute it to the lower level people. I hope that's what it was. Like, in other words, someone that doesn't have access or the ability to take anything from the $4 billion and distribute it.
I mean, maybe you're right, but I feel like that, they should be. I feel like they should pay a fine or something, like because you had this thing go run dry. You got mom and pop like pizzerias and little stores that's what this was all meant for, and restaurants and bars, places that are really super affected. And you got the friggin' Los
Yeah,
Angeles Lakers lining up with their hands out. Like, you got to be shitting me here.
I don't think they should pay a fine because they technically didn't do anything illegal. What they did was immoral and wrong. Again, obviously they give it back. They give it back, whatever money, the $4 million or whatever, and they got a lot of bad press for it.
Like, they should be
That's
ashamed.
gonna hurt them.
This is a bad look for them. Like, no other team in the NBA
Yeah,
applied for this. No other team.
of course.
Like, not
No,
even
this was a bad move.
not even the friggin', Oklahoma City, whatever they are. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. Do you know?
if
I have no idea.
Oklahoma City Thunder, I don't even know. But if they applied
Sure.
for it, I'd be like, all right, I get it. Like, who the hell knows where they are? But it's the friggin' Los Angeles Lakers. It's one of the great franchises in the history of the NBA. $4 billion evaluation. I can't get over that.
I have a feeling that I'm the kind of person that likes to give the benefit of the doubt, and I can't. I'm hoping that it was just a lower level person saying, you know what, I'm doing something for the lower level employees. I'm not going to go to our boss and ask for a handout or a raise or anything during this time. But hey, I found this thing that the government's is willing to give us. I hope it was someone that wasn't. It's not a part of the ownership.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think it is, because I feel like in organizations like that, you got 12 people that literally make all the decisions. I mean, again, this is not a good. It's not a good comparison, but the only experience I have is with the New York Islanders, right? And there were like 6 department heads that reported to the owner. Like, that was it. Like, there's no huge. Now, I would guess that the Lakers are a bigger operation than the New York Islanders. I would even guarantee that. But still, I mean, you're talking about like a handful, less than 20 people that are a part of the brain trust of that franchise. Like, what lower level, I mean, there could be a lawyer or accountant. Like, it could be. But if that's the case, that is a super bad luck, man. That's a super bad luck. Like,
It was someone. I hope it was just someone that looking out for the lower level employees, not wanting to take money away from the owners, saying, I can get this for our workers, for our minimum wage people.
all right.
I hope that's what it was.
Now, Bryce is writing in, I'm getting paid to poop right now. Now, that's an interesting thing. If you're working from home during this quarantine time and you're having relations with your significant other, are you being paid to have sex?
Well,
Kind of. You're
when
kind
you're
of.
at your office, yeah, but when you're at your office, there's break times. They're not paying you to have a cigarette break or that's you're allowed to have break times.
Because you can kind of look like it as like, hey, I'm getting paid to lay some pipe here. This is not a
It is
bad.
win-win. Depending on how you look at it, it could be win-win-win, win-win lose. Who knows?
I guess so. Because I mean, I guess when you can go number 2 at work, you're still getting paid to go number 2.
Exactly.
And that kind of makes sense.
You have to be a human.
Yeah, that's true. You got to be a human. Tougher for some than others. Since quarantine, movie piracy is going through the roof. During the last 7 days of March, there was a 43% increase in Americans visiting pirate movie websites. That is compared with the last 7 days of February. Italy, which underwent a lockdown orders on March 9th, saw visits to piracy sites spike by 66%.
That's so weird. What movies can't you get?
Oh, there's a lot of movies you can't get.
I mean, that you really need to see.
Last year, Global Innovation Policy Center estimated that worldwide online piracy cost the U.S. economy between 29 and $71 billion in lost revenue each year. I think there's a lot. I think this is a good lesson to learn. You make a good point, Frank. There's nobody's running out of stuff to watch. That's for sure. No
Right?
doubt about it. Like there's always plenty of stuff to watch. But there has been times where I was like, oh, you know what I really want to watch is this movie, and I go online, and out of HBO Go that I have, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these other things, I can't find this movie anywhere. Like, how is that possible? You know?
There are certain movies. Well, it's not that I can't find movies. It's just I find them and it's like $5. It's
Right.
like you're already paying for a subscription, and it's like, no, I got to pay $5 to see this movie too.
Yeah. That's kind of
But
garbage.
it's what it is, though. I mean, that's when you rented back in the day when you rented movies. That's what it cost.
True, but how is there? Yeah, I guess so. But how? I guess we should be thankful we even have the right to pay for it, and $5 isn't that bad, I guess. But I honestly feel like, but even sometimes there's not. Like there was a little while there where I was dying to watch Wolf of Wall Street. Like it had been out of the movies for a while. It had kind of made its like cable run, and then it just disappeared. And I was like, I want to see it again. I'm dying to watch this movie, and it was nowhere to be found. And I'm like, how? Like that's wrong. Like I feel like
You couldn't find it even to pay for.
no, it was nowhere. It was nowhere to be found. And then it popped back
That's
up
interesting.
on Netflix for a little while. I don't know if it's still there, but it was like it was just gone. And I assumed that they were negotiating a deal or something, but it's like in this day and age, you go through your movie, right? And then it should go on to a streaming service, and that's where it should be forever. It shouldn't leave.
Problem is, which one? Which streaming service?
Yeah, I know that's a problem. That
That's
is
the
a
big
problem.
issue, and that's why you can't find every movie. That's why for a while, and I'm not sure if it changed, but Netflix had the movie Solo, and Disney Plus didn't have it.
Well,
The Han Solo movie.
Netflix still has a bunch of Disney's property because
They're waiting for contracts to run out.
yeah, they're waiting out exactly. That's exactly what it is. There was still like Black Panther was on there for a long time before it finally came off, and I think they still have some of the Marvel movies up there. Well, it's the same thing in the parks. If you go down to Florida, Universal Studios has all the Marvel characters. There's none in the Disney parks, yet Disney owns the Marvel brand because they're still waiting. Because they signed an agreement a billion years ago to give Universal all the Marvel characters, and that agreement.
Yeah, but Disney has the movies though.
Yeah, but there's no Disney owns Marvel. Disney owns Iron Man and
Right.
Black
So why
Panther.
aren't
Because they have to honor the agreement that they signed prior to buying them, which was that Universal Studios could license the characters for their theme parks.
doesn't Disney own Universal?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
They're just together.
they're competitors. Yeah, they're competitors. So, but literally, like all this success is happening, and they're pumping up all this stuff, and people are going down to Florida. Like, I want to go see Iron Man, and Hulk, and everything, and the Hulk roller coasters in Universal, and they're all there. Now, I think they rebranded the Hulk roller coaster. They don't call it the Hulk anymore. It's called something else. But they're getting ready for like the exit. I think it's like another 2 or 3 years where Universal still has the right to all those characters.
I'm kind of pissed that they got rid of all the classic, well, not all of them, but a lot of the classic rides at Universal.
Yeah.
Back to the Future,
Yeah.
Jaws. I think King Kong either changed or I'm not sure about King
No,
Kong.
I think King Kong is Fast and the Furious now. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Back to the Future is the Simpsons ride now. And I
mean,
don't know what happened to Jaws, but it's not.
And not for nothing, but Back to the Future took up like my kitchen. That's how big it was. You get into the car, and it's in front of the screen.
Yeah.
That was how much space that took. They couldn't put The Simpsons, I don't know, one floor up or something.
Or build them another building somewhere else. Yeah, I know.
Anything else. You know, they have to knock out a classic. Jaws was amazing, and I don't know how much of it they changed, but there was a whole like town.
Yeah,
it was all of Amity was
that's
built.
all gone. Yeah, I think that's all gone.
That's all gone.
I think that's all the Simpsons land now. That's all like it's like Moe's Bar and all that stuff.
All right, that's kind of cool though.
Which is the other interesting thing too, because doesn't Disney own the Simpsons now? They own the Simpsons too.
Yes, they do.
What is Universal going to do? They built all this crap, and they're going to like lose it essentially.
I don't know. Bridges in Madison County, the ride. What are they going to do?
They're going to be
dragging. Theirs? I don't know.
They're going to be dragging Marty McFly back out of the old storage bin. Throw Marty back in there. Here we go. It'll be the Back to the Future again. You might get your way.
It was good, and E.T. is gone too.
Yeah, E.T. is gone. All those classics are gone.
One of my favorites as a kid when I went there, I knew nothing about Mr. Toad. I knew he's a Disney character. It was a cartoon from like the 50s or something.
Yeah.
But Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was hysterical.
Yeah.
I went on it with my cousins and my brother. We're crammed into this little car, and it takes you through this ride, and it was like it's like one of those old classic haunted houses.
Yep.
You know, the door opens and you go into the next room. But it was hilarious. Because every room you think you're going to crash into something and it turns you another way.
Yeah.
It was, as a kid, it was hysterical.
It is now Winnie the Pooh's. It's Winnie the Pooh now.
I mean, I love Winnie the Pooh.
Little known fact, if you go on the Winnie the Pooh ride today and you look, I don't know where it is. I think it's like one of the first couple of turns because it does the same thing. It's basically the same ride. You know, it still does all the turns. Okay. If you look, it's in like one of the rooms where Piglet's in or something. There is a frame of Mr. Toad, like a picture of Mr. Toad in the frame, and he's hanging up there. Yeah.
Poor Mr. Toad.
They kept Mr. Toad in the mix a little bit, at least.
Poor bastard.
Got his walking papers.
Yep. We're going to give you this little frame picture. That's all. That's all we can do.
I need a pink slip of Mr. Toad. Steven wants to know, how will this level out? Will there be a COVID-19 baby boom? I'm pretty sure there's going to be a COVID-19 baby boom, don't you think?
I feel like there's going to be a COVID-19 everything boom. Yeah. Once this is over, you're going to have a technology boom.
Yeah.
By the end of everything, you're going to have
mask buying is already happening.
Yeah, baby boom. There's probably going to be that.
I think the baby boom is going to be like, I thought the baby boom was going to be worse because if this was like a 2 to 3 month thing, like there's no way. Like, because I feel like you'd really get in trouble. Like your stash would run out towards the end of,
that's true.
Like a month and a half in, or you just kind of get tired of it. Like whatever, you know what I mean?
But I feel like also, who would want to be? I mean, if you have a choice, who would want to be pregnant and potentially give birth during this pandemic?
No, nobody wants to give birth during it, but conceiving is something entirely different.
Conceiving, right? But if you're thinking ahead, most often you don't. But if you get the chance to think ahead and go, wait a minute, maybe we should be extra careful here.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Because we don't want to be.
But people might not be thinking, and they might be drinking. It's just it's stats wise. If I give you a month to get drunk whenever you feel like, you're less likely to have a baby than if I give you 3 months to work with. You know what I mean? Just statistics wise, the more time you get, the more chance there is for a whoopsie daisy.
But the baby boom that happened, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, that was because of people coming home from war to their families, and everything was on the upswing, economically. Right now, there's no economic upswing. There's a global viral pandemic. I feel like it's going to be a little less of it's not going to be the baby boom that
you feel like the health implications of having to go to doctors and hospitals is going to keep people.
It's going to damp it down a little.
Janine disagrees. She thinks that people are annoying each other more and more. She thinks there's going to be actually less sex happening. So
there are. I heard. I don't know how true it is. Don't quote me, but I heard divorces are on the rise, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know where that came from. I saw it somewhere.
They're talking about that telemedicine now where you call into your doctor, but I'm sure there's lawyers out there, their FaceTime bills are just burning up. They're like, holy cow.
Yep.
People are FaceTiming.
Easiest money in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. All right, let's leave it there, my friend. Thank you so much. So we've figured out our Mount Rushmore of heroes, our Mount Rushmore of villains. You snuck Eddie Vedder on there, which I don't particularly agree with, but, I'll let it slide right now.
Yep.
Darth Vader is in there. So at least I hope he does Jeremy, lightsaber or not. I'm fine with that either way. Be great. And I think we're good. UFOs, next episode. We'll be talking about that.
Oh, man.
Are the aliens here? And are they going to help us with COVID-19? We'll figure that out. That's all coming up on the next episode of the Anthony on Air podcast. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it this far, bless your heart. Make sure you rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. That'd be great. And thumbs up on the YouTube or the Facebook video. Also a nice thing to do. And, tell a friend. Sharing is caring. Let somebody know that there's some semi-entertaining podcasting going on here. Thanks so much. And we'll see you on the next one.